framework styles, which a leader will choose according to the situation. In yesterday's session, we had discussed about briefly about autocratic leadership, bureaucratic leadership framework, democratic leadership framework, and we had looked in charismatic framework in detail. In today's session, we'll start with autocratic framework. Now, there had been a lot of research going on in the past. We can say the first or the earliest research on leadership skills was started in the year 1930s. Okay, and during that time, there was a lot of work that had been done on autocratic leadership style. Now, what exactly happens in autocratic leadership framework? As we have discussed yesterday, in autocratic leadership framework, leader plays the major role. Means it is a leader centric decision making, or in this case, leader keeps all the powers in his hands. Whatever the leader says, the team members are supposed to follow and get along with the work. Very little, or let us say no inputs from the team members. Here the whole and sole power is in the hands of leader. Now, this sort of framework may work in a situation where a decision has to be taken immediately. Okay. Now, who will be the most informed person to take the decision? Definitely, the leader will be the most informed person because he will have all the information to take a valid decision. Okay. Now, in this case, here leader plays a vital role in autocratic leadership skills. Here, since he has the basic information with him, and there is no much time to wait or to discuss and arrive at a point, in such scenarios, in such situations, this autocratic leadership framework will do a lot of good, because there is no in the first case there is no point of inputs from the team members. It's almost one way communication. Leader gives very crystal clear instructions, and the team members have to follow the instructions and get the work done. And in most of the cases, the vision statement will be very clear in the mind of the leader. So that is also an advantage when it comes to autocratic leadership style. Since the leader has very clear understanding of the vision, he will also take the necessary mission steps to achieve the vision in the long run. So in a situation where there is time constraint, where they don't have much time, so in that case, definitely autocratic leadership is a good way to adopt and implement within the team. In other situations where the team members are very skilled, but they don't possess the knowledge to express, or they don't possess the right set of team building skills. So in that case, in that scenario also, autocratic type of leadership will be of much advantage, because the team members are skilled, they know how to do the work, but still they need someone to guide them. And in this case, an autocratic leader may be getting a maximum production, maximum productivity from the team that are highly skilled. So wherever the team members are not educated, okay, like in a case of production where experienced people are involved, then if you ask them about administration, they may not be of much help. But if you give them crystal clear instructions how they can improvise their work and how they have to complete the work in stipulated time, then definitely it yields a very good results. Okay. Now, when what happens in this case is, since the power lies, or in the case of autocratic leadership framework, the whole and sole power lies in the hands of leader. And when the power lies in the hands of leader, it becomes one-to-one communication with the team members. So when it becomes an one-to-one communication with the team members, so what happens? No one can escape. Whatever the work that has been assigned to the team member, hook or crook, the team member has to complete it. Why? Because he's answerable. He knows that if he doesn't complete the work on time, he is questionable. He has to give an explanation. He would be briefed why he couldn't do the work in the stipulated time. So that is another big advantage of autocratic leadership framework. And when the people are questionable, what happens? It also ensures quality in the work. Okay, see, it is a boss centered framework. Your the staff or the team members are directly interacting with the leader in here. So when they are directly interacting the leader, do you think can they give excuses of their work or poor quality of work? No. They will have to be very careful as far as the work is concerned to give maximum results, and that to maximum positive results. It becomes a situation if the work is not properly done, then they may have to lose their job. So always it creates a sort of pressure in the minds of the team members. From management's point of view, autocratic leadership framework may be good, but on the other side, if you look at it from team members' point of view, just imagine if you're one among the team where the leader has adopted autocratic leadership approach while dealing with the team members, then what happens? As a team member, will you tolerate that most of the communication is one way? Always the leader gives you the instruction and you have to follow the instruction. No, we may not tolerate. We may not like this autocratic type of framework because there is no provision for the team members to raise their voice or to give their valuable inputs. Okay, so they don't have any provision. So whatever the boss says, you have to follow. This will be the major drawback when it comes to autocratic leadership framework. Now, when the team members are not given an opportunity to express their views or opinions or suggestions, so what happens? In the first case, leader is responsible for all the work. In the second case, sometimes they may be a very good point or suggestion from the team member, and that suggestion is not welcomed by an autocratic leader. So who is at loss? The company is at loss. And the other important point here is when the team members become aware that their inputs are not given any importance or they don't have any provision to share their valuable inputs, then what happens? They will not show any interest in doing the work or taking the work to the next level, because they pretty well know that it is a one-way communication. So whatever the leader says, we have to just obey. Then what happens? The motivational levels of the team members will be very, very low. Why very low? Because there is no recognition. In an autocratic leadership style framework, the leader is not ready to welcome their inputs. He's just giving a passive. They are just to there take up the instructions. So they think that okay, anyhow, we have to just do whatever our leader tells us. We'll do the work and our story ends there. They will not take the extra mile to take the company to the next level. Okay, so this somehow restricts or makes their motivation levels lower. And the next drawback with this autocratic leadership style is the team members may not stick in such a company for a longer duration. Why not for a longer duration? Obviously, everyone wishes to have success in his life. He likes to climb the ladder of success, isn't it? But unfortunately, in autocratic leadership form of framework, a team member never gets a chance to open his mouth. So when he is not getting any chance to share his views or opinions, so he feels that his career is at risk. His work may be appreciated, he would get a good salary, that's a different thing. Okay, but somewhere when it comes to job satisfaction, the job satisfaction factor may be less in autocratic leadership style. Only someone who is in the top position, they will enjoy all the benefits. The team members' efforts may or may not be properly addressed. So it brings in a form of insecurity among the team members that their career, they may not have a progressive career working under an autocratic leadership framework. So they may not stay with stay under such a leader for a longer duration. No doubt, this autocratic leadership framework does marvelous work when applied on small groups or on small teams. But the same autocratic principles, when you magnify them, when you try to apply them on a larger volume or on a larger group, then the results may not be that good. Now, why the results may not be that good, or why autocratic leadership framework works with a larger group, in the sense when the group is small, definitely the leader will be able to take all the minute details of the staff and all the things, and he will be able to focus better. Now, as the group evolves, what happens? Definitely responsibilities will increase. The leader has to focus more. One man has to do, or it almost becomes an one man show. He has to be there at all the places, and dealing 10 people within a team using an autocratic leadership framework may be easy, but just imagine dealing 500 people using autocratic leadership framework. However competitive, however efficient, however skilled the leader may be, it is quite possible that somewhere or the other he may commit a mistake, and that mistake may prove uh, heavy to the company in the long run. So, autocratic leadership may not be worthwhile or may not be good for a longer big organizations, or for a big for the evolution of the organization. Then other drawback is here, In autocratic leadership framework, there is no intention of the leader to develop his subordinates as the future leaders, which is very important for the evolution of a company, for the expansion of a company, isn't it? So every company starts with a leader, and definitely it has to evolve as a very big gigantic company one or the other day. For that, one leader cannot run all the show. He definitely needs the support of eminent and efficient leaders working below him. Unfortunately, this autocratic leadership style doesn't address any solution for the expansion of the company. Okay, but still, autocratic leadership skill may be there to some extent in few organizations at the top level. Okay, and before we wind up today's session, let us talk about communication approach. So what sort of communication happens or takes place in autocratic leadership style? So obviously, from where the instructions are coming, the leadership instructions are coming from the leader. Okay, and it is a one-way communication. So autocratic leaders mostly follow top-down communication. Means the instructions or the information is given from the top level to the bottom level, top to down. Okay, and there is uh, there is no other way. See, not you will not come across a situation where a team member is sharing some information with the leader. Okay, so though autocratic leadership framework does work well for smaller organizations, it may not be a suggestible one for growing or big organizations. Okay, so those were few inputs on autocratic leadership framework. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's session. In tomorrow's session, we'll discuss about bureaucratic leadership framework. Okay, so have a good day. Please do remember to share this information with your friends and near and dear ones. Okay, stay safe, be happy. Okay, thank you. See you in the next session.